Chapter 11, Question 12. Callahan in 2009 demonstrated that Tai Chi can significantly reduce symptoms for individuals with arthritis. Participants were 18 years old or older with doctor-diagnosed arthritis. Self-reports of pain and stiffness were measured at the beginning of an 8-week Tai Chi course and again at the end. Suppose the data produced an average decrease in pain and stiffness of 8.5 points with a standard deviation of 21.5 for a sample of n equals 40 participants. Use a two-tailed test with an alpha of 0.05 to determine whether the Tai Chi had a significant effect on pain and stiffness. Step 1. What are our hypotheses? We've got a two-tailed test, which means that the mean difference score, according to the null, is 0. The alternate is that it's not 0. Step 2. We need our critical values. To get that, we need our degrees of freedom. N minus 1. 40 minus 1. We've got 39 degrees of freedom. We're going to look to the t-distribution table. Degrees of freedom 39. As we look across, we're going to look proportion and two tails combined is 0.05. The nearest value without going over, if you look, we've got a value for 30 and we've got a value for 40. You always want to round down. Doesn't matter that 39 is closer to 40. You always go to the 30. So the 30, looking across proportion and two tails combined, that value is 2.042. So our critical, the thing that we have to be more extreme, is 2.042. Step 3, we need to calculate our test statistic. Before we can calculate the test statistic, we have to calculate the estimated standard error. Before we can calculate the estimated standard error, we need to calculate the variance because we're given the standard deviation. Or, I suppose we could do the estimated standard error is equal to the standard deviation divided by the square root of n. And that way we can save ourselves a step. 21.5 divided by the square root of 40. So that's 21.5 divided by 6.325. 21.5 divided by 6.325 is equal to 3.399. What we then can do is calculate our t. The mean difference score was 8.5 points. Subtract 0 divided by 3.399. Which is equal to 2.501. We're going to take this and we're going to compare it to our critical value in step 4. I always recommend drawing it out. It provides the evidence that you need for the decision that you make, and it helps you avoid errors. So your critical values are out here. You've got 2.042, negative 2.042. Anything that falls in here is going to be a fail to reject the null. Anything that's out here is in our critical region. We're going to reject it. The value that we calculated was out here. So we're going to reject the null, accept the alternate. Our evidence can either be this, or we can say that the value we calculated was more extreme than the critical value. There is a significant effect of Tai Chi on self-reported pain.